Revenge. Revenge will be mine. Oh yeah. Revenge! Revenge! I always think of Smaug the Stupendous whenever I think of revenge. Because of what he was saying at the end of the Desolation of Smaug. Revenge! Revenge! Alright, sure, those of you who follow my channel, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Well, it's good morning where I'm at. It's about 9:30-ish in the morning. Yeah. Please subscribe. Please click the like button. Please follow. Yeah, I've been trying to do this flight for a couple of days now, and I wound up erasing the stream I did last night because of this. But it turns out that this is just Diet Dr. Pepper, by the way. It's not anything like nothing spicy. Yeah, so the flight I tried the other night, first of all, the engines went crazy. They were overheating, the auto throttle wasn't working, so I think I found a solution for that, which was, well, since I erased the stream last night, let me show you. So there was a patch that came out this past week for Microsoft Simulator, and with that, it reset all the settings. Well, I guess before that patch, I never really went into failure and damage. I just kind of left it on like whatever it was defaulted for. So I didn't realize that when I put it on hard, that engine stress damage would be turned on. That was turned on. Like I never really went into this section before ever, so I had no idea that that was a thing. Well, that's what was happening, and I didn't have the FMC programmed correctly for the different, throttle settings and N1 and, so anyway, so I went in, and now that I'm aware of this, I went into the FMC, and I believe I fixed it, because I did a partial flight yesterday during my break, during work, and, during my break during my work break, and lunch break, I went in and played with it, and I was pretty successful with getting up to altitude without any kind of overspeeding or huge vibrations with the engine and things like that. And then last night, I tried doing this flight again, and the runway was super bumpy, like to the point where the plane like nosedived into the ground. So I turned off crash damage, so if I did do that, like hitting a pothole, kind of where the nose like dips down all the way, instead of it crashing and breaking the landing gear, I would just continue to go straight, and I was just super close to taking off, and the plane wound up flipping over. So I did some research, and I believe that turning off the photogrammetry will fix that. So we're going to turn off the photogrammetry, and then, we'll probably turn it back on as we, as we're in the air, when we don't have to worry about, like, bumpiness like that. So let's try this again. Let's go to Chord. And I'm going to try to I'm going to recreate this flight all the way again, like I did. So we're going to park at the gate. It's early in the morning here. I want to try this the right way. They were at gate H10 the other day, this flight 2499 from American Airlines. Now I am going to set this for May of 2022. And the reason I'm doing that, I'll show you when we get inside the airplane. There's a reason for that. And we'll leave it on, I guess we can try live weather. All right, live weather. Oh, that's good. AI, Chord. All right, flight conditions 9 o'clock in the morning. We can always change the time. And let's go ahead and try this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what
will be, if that photogrammetry is really the problem. It kind of makes sense the way that the people in the forums were describing it, that it could be very well the that photogrammetry setting. I mean, that's a lot to load in, and we are kind of at a place where photogrammetry would be alive. I mean, we're right outside Chicago, and I am on a Series S Xbox, so I mean, it very well could be that that's the case. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to do this as I would like the beginning of any real flight that I'm not just trying to redo. So I'm going to have the gate come over. I'm going to get rid of these stairs. Let's go ahead and do that first before we turn the airplane on. So we can click this menu button and then hold it in. Very good. And let's go to actions. Let's go to ground services, and let's get rid of these stairs. And we're going to click this entryway here. We're going to put that on jetway. All right, and let's go back now to jetway request or release. Let's request that. And let's go to doors and open the left side door. While that's cooking, let's go ahead and turn on battery, external power, and we can turn on the collision lights. All right, very good. So that's working. Let's come back down here. Let's go to actions again. Let's go to ground services. All right, let's plug in. We need 8,500 fuel. So let's request that. We do 139 people. We can start that. And let's request all the baggage trucks. So we have a total of 3,500 kilograms according to Navigraph. I'm sorry, according to SimBrief. So let's go ahead and plug all that in. All right, fuel truck is attaching. Ramp is showing up. The loader truck should be right behind it. Let's find out where it wants us to take off from today.
Ground A2499er with India request taxi for takeoff departing straight out. A2499er taxi to and hold short of runway 10 left using taxi.
Okay, that works.
Alpha 14 Alpha Alpha 1 tree November 2 November Zulu. Contact down on 1 tree decimal 0 when ready. Taxiing hold short runway 10 left using taxiway Alpha 15 Alpha 14 Alpha Alpha 1 tree November 2 November Zulu A2499er.
Why is it not letting us start this? Now we'll give it a couple more minutes. If it doesn't start doing its thing, then I will go ahead and just do it a different. I'll just set this fuel a different way. All right, let's start unloading you. Yeah, I mean, the fuel truck is there. All right, I'll just do it a different way. Let's go ahead and release the fuel truck. All right, detaching. Let's come here to fuel. Let's just type in 8,500 here. I guess it can't just take fuel out of the airplane, I guess. Maybe that's why it... Which, I mean, that kind of makes sense, but whatever. It's a simulator. I thought it would do it. All right, there we go. That's good. All right, let's start unloading you. All right, so that's all good. Let's go ahead and align the IRS system. Now, I have this set to 30 seconds, so it should align in 30 seconds. There's a realistic mode, there's automatic, like there's instantaneous, and there's 30 seconds. So I have it on 30 seconds. Now, the reason I chose the date of May 10th, 2022 is because this AirRack, the navigation data of the AirRack system, 2204, is from April 21st to May 19th, year of our Lord 2022. So that's why I have that date plugged in there. All right, that's all good. Let's go to root. Start typing this in. If you notice, the VOR/ADF indicator here just spun around to line us up with the correct heading. You know, the heading that we're facing now. All right, K. All right, they are doing their thing. KD. Oh, I probably forgot to turn the camera system off. KDF. I think that's why my phone just went off. Give me a second. Let me look at my phone. Yep. Bedroom. Yep. Give me a second. Let me fix my camera system here. Otherwise, it's going to continue to go off because I'm sitting kind of right in front of it. Let me just deactivate the motion detection part. All right, so we have AA2499. That's a real flight that flies from Chicago to Dallas. A real American Airlines flight. All right, let's go departure. Let's go find 10 left. And let's go to route. And let's start typing in this long ass route. Hang on, let me okay, home mode, set each device, record, nothing, done, backspace to activate it, backspace. All right, very good. Now that's done. All right. Where's my waypoints at? All right. Oh, good. The trucks are done. All right, let's release those. Jetway's done. That's done. Excellent. All right, very good. All right, we'll leave all that connected for a moment. Let's plug in our flight plan, and then we'll turn on the APU and disconnect everything and like disconnect all the outside gear. All right, Aceto. Click the top right button. Waypoints always go on the right side. How you're getting to that waypoint goes on the left side. If you are flying just right to a waypoint from another waypoint, just input the waypoint like I did, and the via the left side here would just say direct. Yo, what's good, my dude? I'm back. I'm back for revenge, man. Last night and the night before fucked me up on this flight, so we're back doing it again. I think I figured out why the runway was so bumpy to the point where it made my plane crash like 3 times over the last day. And I think it's because I had the photogrammetry turned on, the setting for the 3D buildings and all that. So in the forums, I read that turn that off during takeoff. I also turned off crash damage for takeoff. That way, if I do bump a little bit, I won't break the landing gear. So we'll see if that fixes it, because this damn simulator, man, is enough to drive you nuts, man. You can't just plug and play most of the time. You always got something fucking you up. But yo, what's good, my dude, Keith? Let me say what's up. What's up, my dude? Turn off caps lock. That way it doesn't look like I'm angry. What's good, dude? Dude. All right, let's put in an airway of Q27 and FSM FSM to coma, K to the O to the double M to the A. And then we have our arrival. So let's go arrival. Arrival, let's plug in the star first, the standard terminal arrival first, which is Seaver R4. Our transition is RRNet, and we're planning on doing this RNAV 418 right. All right, let's go back to route. Let's activate that bitch. Let's click execute. All right, let's go ahead, and now that that's done, I want to set up our performance page. But first, I want to get the APU on. So let's go ahead and turn on this fuel pump here. Let's turn on this APU. Now this APU will go all the way up to around here and then back down. And then once it lands like right in this area, then you should see this generator light come on here, and that's when you can activate the generator switches for the APU. All right, let's go ahead and put on bleed. Whoa, not 40. 36, bitch. There we go. And landing altitude is about 650 tonight. All right, let's put on the emergency lights. Let's put our seat lights on. Seat belts. We can arm the yaw dampener. All right, here it comes down again like I was talking about. There we go. So we can activate the generators now. Forward entry, yes, I know. All right, we can turn these electronic pumps on. Probe heat is now automatic. Flight recorder is automatic. All right, let's put on some panel lights. All right, so all this is good. Let's go ahead and get rid of. Let's make sure our park and brake is on. All right, and let's go ahead and let's release the jetway. Let's release the ground power cart. Let's go to this pushback page and we'll just leave it there. Oh, I got to close the door actually too. Hang on. Yeah, the door doesn't close automatically. All right, let's come over here. Let's go to performance initialization. Let's request. It should say load. Yep, load over here on the bottom left. So let's load all that in. Let's click execute. Excellent. So it brings in all this data. We are going to adjust the cruising altitude. So let's type in 8.3 first. We're going to fix the fuel setting here. So 8.3 is what our planned fuel is. So if we don't put that number in, we're never going to have a gross weight, for takeoff, and we're going to get some error messages often from the fuel system. Let's fix this unable 290 knots at switch. So let's go to legs. And first of all, let's get rid of this discontinuity. And we have one more to fix. Let's fix this, get rid of this vector here. If we had a live ATC that was directing us, then they would just tell us and we could just, but anytime you have a vector in your flight plan here, it's never gonna complete the flight plan. It's always gonna look like it's incomplete because of that vector. Same thing with the discontinuity. All right, so let's come here to switch. So we have this message here, unable 290 knots. So let's fix that. So let's type in 290 and then B for below /FL, and we'll do 240. And now we have it programmed here to, at this waypoint, to be below 290 knots. So whatever that turns out to be, and then we're going to be at flight level 240. So now that's fixed. Let's go back to N1 here. The cruise wind is, according to SimBrief, is 264 by 44. So let's plug that in. This is the correct cost index that SimBrief has calculated. All right, so that's good. Let's go to the next page. And I want to adjust this because 0.82 is pretty fast. So on climb, I'm going to do 300 /0.80. That's going to be the same for descent. Well, actually, yeah, 0.80 would be the max. And for cruise, we're going to do 320. 0.810. 0.82 is just 0.82 is almost like at the overspeeding part. So we don't have any RTAs, which is like if we're requiring to be at a certain waypoint by a certain time, we don't have any of those. So let's go back to there. Let's go N1 limits. So the outside air temperature right now is 0. So it's really, so the ISA would be 15 right now because the ISA temperature at this altitude is 15 degrees. So I used to do 30 over this number here, but I don't think that's going to be enough to derate the engine down, because right now I want to get the derate down to like this area here, right? So let me type in like 59. And yeah, see, that's okay with me. Well, actually, no, let's type in 45 and see what happens. All right, what about, I want to get it to like 89 something. So let's type in 40. All right, yeah, that's good, 89.3. So very good, so that's good. Let's go to takeoff. And we need to go to this next page here. We need to enter the slope. So the slope for this runway is negative 0.16, I believe. Let me double check that. All this information is in Navigraph. Yep, 0.16. And the wind, according to Navigraph, it's calm. So I'm going to make this a headwind. So if we're taking off on 10 left, let me see what the course for 10 left is. So the bearing is 93 degrees. Oh yeah, actually it says it right here. So the 180 degree opposite of that would be 293 minus 20 would be 273. So let's just put a little bit of a headwind in. 273, and let's just say 2 knots. All right, now we can go back. The center of gravity calculates automatically in this airplane, and we'll do flaps 5. We have a long enough runway here. All right, let's confirm these V speeds. Now we have gross weight, takeoff weight. Let's adjust the METAR. Now, according to Navigraph, the METAR is 30.13, so let's plug that in. So I'm going to come up here to this little knob here and turn this so it says 30.13. Here's the METAR down here. Now I have it programmed to, when I change it here, it changes it everywhere on the airplane. All right. So that's all good. So what else is there to do? I don't think, oh yeah. We got to do one last thing. Now that all this is set, we do need to plug in our forecast for our descent. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't bring in this info automatically, but other than setting this up, we're good to taxi. So let's go ahead and plug this in real quick. People try to put us down, talking about my generation. All right, 20,000 feet, just because we get around, talking about my generation. All right, 10,000 feet. All right, so the winds, according to SimBrief, is 263 by 40. 263 is the bearing, 40 is the knots. Then we have 259 by 27, 259 by 27, and 253 by 24. Yeah, I don't know why this plane doesn't bring in this info automatically when I request it. Like the, I believe the Dreamliner does, which, I mean, that's a factory plane from Microsoft. I'm surprised that this plane doesn't do it, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. All right, so all this is done. Let's go ahead and remove our chocks. Select our tug. Select standard L. And we need our nose to go to the right. All right, so standard nose to the right. All right, let's start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready for pushback. Tail to the left. Release brake brake, please. Brake release.
All right, we're being pushed back. Standard L means just that. We go back, and then we make that L shape. But yeah, the engines were going crazy last week. I mean, sorry, like 2 nights ago when I was trying this, they were going nuts when I was climbing. They kept on overspeeding, and the auto throttle was shutting off, and so I wound up landing at another airport. but you know, and cut the flight short. And yeah, I read that. I read a way that I think fixes it. So we'll see. We'll see if it actually fixes it or not. It's not really like a setting that needs to be done. It's more or less just monitoring and not pushing the engine so hard. I had no idea that one setting was turned on, that engine stress.
Pushback complete. Park and brake set. Brake set.
Park and brake is back on. Let's make sure our flight plan connects. So let's.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the slope release from guidance on your left. Have a good flight.
All right, let's come down here. And the bottom right button, this step here. Oh, let's turn on the other engine, by the way, real quick. And then we'll do that. Let's wait for N2 to jump up a bit. There we go. Let's click the fuel button. All right, so now let's come down here to step. This bottom right button, let's just click on this and let's look at our flight plan. Yep. Now we're probably gonna create a waypoint before this, like maybe 5 miles before this one. That way we have time to kind of come in. So I'll show you how to do that as we're in the air. I'll show you how to do all that. All right, let's go to menu here. Let's go to FMC. Let's go to N1 and let's go to takeoff. So we're going to leave this guy on this page here. We have 147 for V2, so let's plug that in. And we have 93 as that. All right, so this all looked good, so let's go ahead and put this back on map. Let's zoom him in a little bit. And we're going to click on data. That gives us info at the different waypoints. You know, if there's a speed constraint or an altitude constraint, clicking on data gives us that info. And we'll leave him on plan. Let's put our brakes on RTO. Let's go ahead and put our TCAS system on. And let's activate that generator. That generator. We can turn the bleed off. All right, packs on auto and isolation valve on auto. All right, we'll leave the engines on auto. Set this to taxi. Put our wheel well light on. And we are pretty much good to taxi. We'll activate LNAV and VNAV as we're in the air. LNAV won't activate while we're on the ground today because our first turn is greater than 5 degrees, so it won't do anything today. The auto throttle will be fine, but all right, let's put our flaps down and then verify our takeoff speeds. So let's put our flaps down to 5. And as you can see, we have to verify our takeoff speeds. So we just need to click on these buttons again. Just one of them because nothing changed. All right, we got plus 40 for the degrees. We have 88.8 is our max. That's our N1 speed. All right, let's release the parking brake. And let's start rolling out. Roll out. Give it a little bit of fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ugh. Down and down and down, down and down and down. Come on, bitch, let's go. Turn on, I see red. Thought I had my chapstick down here. Where is it at? Man, my lips is burning up. Yo, I used to idolize Lars, man, when I was a kid. He's not that bad of a drummer. I mean, he's good for Metallica. Like, you know, he's got to do something right. I mean, he's like in the biggest metal band that's ever lived. I mean, he's not complete shit. He's not that good. Hang on, let me pause this for a second. He's not that good, but like I don't think he could hack it in any other band. For real, like I don't think any other band he could make it in. But for Metallica, he's perfect. God damn you, chaps! Where the fuck are you? I have two of them, and I can't even. Oh, here's one. Okay. Yeah, I used to idolize Lars, man, when I was growing up. See, when like Master of Puppets came out, I was like 8 years old. I was like 4 years old when like I guess Kill 'Em All or 5 years old or 6 years old, somewhere in that area. So like I kind of grew up with them, man. And man, when I was learning drums, man, I tried to do everything just like him when I first started playing, like the same like movements, and like standing up and see, you were trying to make your drum set look like his. He had that white drum set with all black metal on it. All right, so we're not really turning, and I know why. So let's go ahead and stop the airplane for a second. Let's come here to menu. This is so stupid. Every time I have to do this. All right, let's go to options. Let's go to simulation. Let's come here to turn on rudder only. And let's go here, and all right, very good. Yeah, I had a really crappy drum set when I first started, and then I got a job. I wanted a better drum set, and my parents were like, well, if you want a better drum set, you got to go out and get a job. We're not buying it for you. See how the plane's turning now? So it's turning easier now. So I wound up, I bought a Tama Rockstar 2 kit in purple. And that was pretty much the kit I had forever until I sold it many years later. Yeah, I used to love that kit. All right, so far everything is pretty smooth with the ground, which is good. So it might have been that photogrammetry. Which kind of makes sense, I guess. I mean, maybe it was too much for the Series S to load in. I don't know if it's a Series S thing or if it's just an Xbox thing altogether. See, no bumps so far. We're doing okay. Last time it started getting bumpy around this area. So maybe it is the photogrammetry that's the problem. I kinda had a feeling that might be it. Because I mean that photogrammetry takes up a lot of data. That photogrammetry is like it makes like a lot of the cities like 3D, and you know, since we're near a major city, it kind of explains it. Actually, I noticed a lot of the like I don't have any frame rate issues or lagging issues either, where I've been having that as a problem recently at major airports. But I've also had that photogrammetry turned on, so might be onto something here. All right, I do want to set a different time for takeoff. I want it to be kind of like in the early morning, so. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. I like taking off with the runway lights still. Golly, man. What's up, Frank? I think I figured out the problem, by the way. So it seems like the photo, from what I could see in the forums, everything I read last night pointed to the photogrammetry setting. And right now I have that thing turned off. And I haven't had any frame rate issues. I haven't hit any bumps yet on the tarmac. So I think what I'll do is just leave the photogrammetry off during takeoff, and then once we're in the air, turn it back on again. But that seems to be the major problem. And I haven't had any frame rate issues either. So I think that might have been it for the. I think that was the issue for the bumpiness and the invisible potholes and, you know, flipping the plane over during takeoff. Oh, I'm gonna turn it back on after we take off. After we take off and the autopilot's set and we're climbing, I'm gonna turn it back on again. I'm actually going to save the flight too, right around here, after we get our clearance for takeoff.
Tower A249er ready for departing straight out at runway 10 left. A249er with 134 at port. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 10 left. Cleared for takeoff runway 10 left A249er.
All right, that's good. Let me put on the lights back here. I forgot to do all this. All right, all that's good. Let's put on our outside lights, and let's put on the strobe light. All right, those are on auto. All right, all that's good. Packs are on auto. Bleed isolation valve is auto. Yeah, I'm all about getting revenge, my dude, man. This is like revenge. Like it's double revenge. All right, let me save this flight. And then, all right, let's type in like revenge.1, because you always have to put a dot in afterwards when you save these flights for some reason. All right, revenge.1, save, just in case. All right, let's release the parking brake. Let's give it a little juice. And we'll turn on the auto throttle after we line up. And then we'll take off, and then we'll activate LNAV and VNAV as we get up in the air. Yeah, my flaps should be okay. They're set to 5. The trim you really can't play around with on this airplane. It doesn't really allow it to be messed around with, to be honest. All right, let's give it some juice. And let's click this screw here for toga. All right, let's click the screw again.
Airspeed's alive.
Oh, I never turned on auto throttle. Shit. There we go.
80 knots. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate of climb.
All right, gear up. Once we get up to about 1,500 feet, we'll turn on the autopilot. There we go. All right, autopilot on. Let's turn on LNAV and VNAV. And I want to come down here to N1 and put this. All right, so climb 1 is selected. All right, very good. That's good. Let's put up flaps. Let's lock the landing gear.
Tower A249er frequency change. Chicago approach A249er is type Boeing 737 3 miles southeast of O'Hare 3,100 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Squawk 0754 A249er. Cleared through the Bravo airspace A249er.
All right, let me turn on photogrammetry again. Yeah, I'm not. The stalling part doesn't worry me too much right now. It's the breaking the engines from the photogrammetry, not photograph, from the engine stress, because we keep on redlining. The engines keep redlining for some reason, and that part still mystifies me. I don't know why it does. Boy, it doesn't really like this setting, does it? It's just stuck on this thing. Come on, bitch, let's go. Here, there we go. So I'm gonna, might not be using VNAV a whole lot right now. All right, let's go VS.
Going to 126.05 A249er.
And let's stay in climb 1 mode.
249er.
See, I don't want it going over this green mark. Like, I have it programmed to not go over that, but for some reason, every once in a while, this all goes in red and it goes up to 10, even though that's not what I have it programmed for. I'm not hitting anything to mess with the throttle. Like, I keep my fingers away from that button. So I'm thinking VNAV is an issue for takeoff for some reason. I don't know why. I wish I knew. I mean, I went in here and adjusted like the speeds myself before I, like the max speeds and all that before we took off. Like, I adjusted all that. It's a little frustrating. Yes, dude. I've had dreams with hot girls before, my man. I'm a guy. That kind of shit happens. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to lower the throttle by controlling all this myself right now, like the speed and the rate of our ascension. If I had it on VNAV, I wouldn't be in control of all this. So right now we're doing okay. The system also, what I was reading also recommended to have the APU on during climb also to help take the load off the generators. So we'll see. But yeah, I've had plenty of dreams over the years with hot girls in it. All right, let's lower this to about 500. Increase our speed to 300. And then once we get up to 300, then we will go ahead and start our climb up to 36,000 feet. And I'm actually going to use level change. Actually, we'll do 290. All right, come on, 290. Let's go, bitch. Come on, 290. There we go. All right, level change. And what did it say? 30.14, I think is what it said. Alright, so that level change is not... Alright, let's see if it'll do it now. Speed's increasing, and our Good, my dude. Roll away. Alright, so we're in climb mode. We're climbing pretty well. I think we're doing okay. Sun's coming up. We're on our way. We're getting revenge up in this motherfucker this morning. See, there it goes, overspeeding again for some reason. And then it puts itself in reverse mode. Makes no fucking sense to me. Alright, we'll just leave it here at VS mode then. Yeah, why does it do that? That's so weird. It's got to be a glitch in the Matrix, to be honest. I mean, there's nothing else I can do. Let's try climb 2 then and see if that works. Strange, man. I don't really get it. It's just so strange that the throttle just goes all the way up in it and it overloads the system when I'm not pushing anything that should be allowing that to happen. It's weird. Like, unless there's something, you know, I don't know, maybe there's a button on here that I'm not aware of that increases the speed that I'm pushing. Because it seems to happen when I go into cursor mode. Like right now I'm not in cursor mode. Cursor mode's where I have like the circle with like the dot inside of it. It seems to happen when I'm in that mode. So I wonder if there's something to do with that. A murder report? What you talking about, bro? A murder report? What you talking about, Frank? Yeah, I like the outside better too. I just can't pay attention to everything I need to when I'm on the outside. But yeah, I like the outside view myself a bit better too. All right, so we're okay. I know we're going a little bit slower than we should be right now, but it is what it is. I'm gonna leave it here at this speed. But so far we're holding good. You know, we're not doing anything stupid.
Going to 124.5582499er.
You're welcome to make any noises you want, my dude. I can't hear what you're doing, so you're more than welcome to make any noises you want. Yep, that's when it happened. I pushed into I got, you know what? Let me check something real quick. All right, let's pause. Let's go to controller options. And let's search by input. Okay. So pushing the left in. Yeah, I don't see where it has anything to do with anything to do with speed or anything. But as soon as I click that button, it starts overloading the engine. That is weird. Yo, what's up, Grease? So I'm getting revenge. Revenge! I'm getting it. So I figured out that turning off the photogrammetry in the beginning gets rid of all the bumpiness of the takeoff. So I did that, took off. Now we're in the air, then I turned that feature back on. And the engines, I noticed that whenever I go into cursor mode, where I have like, not just like this dot, but like I have the circle around it, that makes the engines like start overheating. But I didn't realize that the engine stress damage was turned back on, and I didn't have the FMC set properly before. So now I have the FMC set properly with the correct speeds for climbing, cruising, descent. I'm not using VNav on the ascent right now either, because that was overloading the engines. Well, I might try it again now that we're in the air, but I think I figured out quite a bit. So yeah, man. Yeah, last time, well, you didn't miss much last time. Last time I crashed, I think it was twice, and I just shut it down for the night. I was like, let me do some research. All right, let's try clicking VNav again and seeing what happens. All right, so far so good. And I think if I stay out of cursor mode, we'll be okay. Which is fine. I don't really need it. I mean, it does make things a little easier to operate sometimes inside the cabin, but I think I can get away without using it. All right, so we're doing okay. We're in VNav mode. We're getting up to our speed. And we should start climbing up a bit more here. Hey man, I've fallen asleep on stream before too. It's all good. Yeah, Frank, I'm not sure what meme you're talking about, my dude. But if I can find it, I can edit the video when it's done and then put it in. Yeah, man. Gotta show that guy who's boss. I said, bitch, I got an 18-wheeler. Get out of my way. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, maybe I'll put that in, like when the video is done. When I go and if I wind up doing some sort of edit with the video, which I typically do, I can always go back in and put that in. Yeah, I'm not gonna look for it now, but when this video is done and I edit it, yeah, I can go ahead and try to find it. All right, well, we're doing okay. I think if I stay out of that cursor mode, I don't know why that is, but every time I click that left button in, seems like bad shit happens. But we're holding good with the speed. We're below the max speed. I have in here, I think it's 310 and 0.79 for the Mach speed, I think it is. But we're staying well below that. That's good. We're not getting any excessive vibration from the engines. Those are both, everything looks pretty equal all the way, so. Once we get to cruising altitude, we'll go ahead and speed everything up a little bit, but yeah, we should be climbing faster than this. Let's get out of VNAV mode. Should be climbing around 1500, I think. If we do that, man. Show him who's boss, Frank. Tell him that Daddy's home. All right, let's click on level change now. And I guess we can let's set this to, oh, I didn't mean to do that. No. All right, thank God. I activated cursor mode and all of a sudden the engine started taking off. That is really weird that the cursor mode does that. It doesn't matter where on the screen either I'm looking at. I can be looking inside, outside, front, back, side to side. Doesn't matter where I'm aiming. As soon as I click that left thumbstick in to go into cursor mode, that's when the engines start really like going like they start like overpowering themselves. Tell them, say, Daddy's got something for your ass. Daddy's back. Feel the wrath of Daddy. We are getting there. Getting closer. Closer to our cruising altitude. This is very interesting playing with the engine stress on. I don't think I had that on for the whole time I've owned this airplane. I've never had to pay this close attention to what the engines are doing. I like it. I like it a lot. I like doing I like constantly having to monitor. It gives me something to do instead of just like clicking VNav and LNav and that's it. That's it for like until descent. This now, with that engine stress on and the frame, the stress for the frame on too. I really got to pay attention to vibrations, you know, the thrust level, you know, the exhaust temperature, the fuel flow. Now I want to say cruising. I think cruising speed is Mach 0.77. I want to say. I think I'm not looking at the SimBrief flight plan right now, but I'm 99% sure that's what it was. All right, we are 2,000 feet away from leveling off. 2,000 feet away from going into 8x speed. I do have live. Yeah, Frank, I play GTA. I don't play it on the Xbox though. I play it on my PS4, but I haven't played in a long time. But yeah, I have played it quite a bit. Yeah, the 738's a difficult airplane, man. Depending on what your settings are. Yeah, I mean, you can make it real easy by turning on like all the assist features and you know. But you know, if you have a decent amount of those turned off, man, it's a bit of a learning curve, that's for sure. Well, welcome, Chase. If there's anything I can try to do to help out, just shout it out. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I don't know if I'm familiar with that mod, Frank. You know, I don't have a PC that I play games on, so I don't really pay attention to a lot of those PC mods. All right, we're at our altitude. Altitude hold is on. Let's increase our speed to 0.77. And let's go into cruise. I could probably put this on automatic.
Kansas City Center A249er flight level trace 0.
Cool. Very cool. All right, let's set this to auto. Let's see if auto can take care of business on its own. See? Oh, maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, it still has us in climb mode. That's weird. Oh, that's right. It's going to keep us there until we get to our speed, probably. Then when we get to 0.77, it'll probably go back again. Let's leave this on until we, let's hold off on going 8 times speed until we see what happens when we get to speed, to see if it switches to cruise. Yeah, it's not going into cruise. Oh yeah, that's right, because I have 0.80 set for... Alright, we'll just put it in cruise mode. Yeah, that's right, I have it set for 0.8... Never, hang on a second. Hang on, Chase, I'll type something in for a second. Hang on a second. That's right, I put this on 0.81, I think, for cruise mode. That's a little much. Let's do 0.80. Alright, we'll leave it on cruise. And... why does it have top of climb? Right there. Maybe we still are in climb mode. Alright, let me put this back in auto then, the N1 limiter. Yeah, let's see what happens when we get to top of climb. We should be at the top of climb, right? I don't know why it's still saying that on our map here. Let's click on progress and see what it says here. Yeah, it's saying 17 miles until the top of our climb. Oh, why does it have flight level 30? Motherfucker. Well, how did that change back? Hang on a second. Let's click altitude hold. How did the fuck did that happen? I put in 36,000 feet before. How did that change back to 38,000? that happen? All right, 0.771. All right, now we're in cruise mode. All right, now life is right. All right, so that was weird. Oh, we don't have that far until top of descent, 367. So Chase, so I know I have videos that kind of go over a lot of the step-by-steps, like in the very beginning. But do you? Let me just type it. Do you? Yeah, Pmdg has two downloads. One is a tutorial, and one is like instructions. And between those two, they're really in depth. And if you're doing a cold and dark start, you do need to hold. When you're doing a cold and dark start, you can still operate the. Yeah, I'll send you the website. Hang on a second. When the plane is off and you first get into the plane, you can still operate the FMC here. You just have to hold the menu button in for a few seconds. And then when you hold the menu button in, it'll bring you to this screen. And then if you do Pmdg setup, here you can set up everything about the airplane, aircraft, which gives you equipment, displays, and failures. And then options for like simulator options and performance options, and colors for what shows up on the map. But you can also just startup state here, and you can cold and dark with the ground power unit attached, or you can set up really however you want. And then anyways, let me send you that website. Give me a second. But yeah, there's a website you can go to either on a computer or on your phone, anywhere that has internet. And those two downloads are excellent. That's kind of where I learned, about everything. But you can also, I do have a fair amount of videos months ago that I put up there. You may have to search you may have to go to my channel and search Pmdg or 737, but I do have quite a bit of videos that go over a lot of the ins and outs of these airplanes. All right, give me a second. I'll get the link here momentarily. I'm almost there. All right, documentation. All right, copy this and paste this. All right, if you go to that link there's like 5 or 6 different links you can click on, but there's 2 links on there that I reference often. And one of them is the introduction, and the other one is the tutorial. Both of them are excellent. They should kind of get you through. So I think what's happening is you're going in cold and dark, but you're not connected to a ground power unit, and you can't contact the ATC to have one brought out because you can't turn on the airplane. So you could turn the batteries on and then turn the APU on right away. But if you want a ground power unit to help power up everything, then you'll have to have that programmed. So you can either jump right into the plane and try to turn the battery on. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. No. Boy, pushing that button is scary now. get in and interact with this button here, turn the batteries on, and then come down here and, put the APU on. If you're connected to a ground power unit, then, you don't have to do that so quickly. All right, I guess these fools can take off their seatbelts. All right, well, we figured out some shit today. That's good, man. We're cruising, bitch. We got 330. Let's go a little 8x. Do a little 8x action. There we go. A little 8 times speed, bitch. I kind of have to leave it in this mode though here. Like, if I deviate from this screen when I'm in 8x, it doesn't usually go 8x speed. Man, that's awesome, Grease. Yeah, you live in the life of luxury now. You should sit back and smoke a big fat cigar and be like, man, I'm living life now, man. I can play a song. I can play a song on the internet now. That's crazy that they have fiber optic and you don't. I mean, y'all both live in Greece. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy that they have super fast internet and you don't. That's sad, though. I'm sorry to hear that. That's got to be frustrating. I'd be frustrated if I went to my cousin's house and they live like 20 minutes from me. Well, I don't know how far your cousin lives from you, but if my cousin lived, even if my cousin lives an hour from me, man, I would, and they had better internet, I'd be upset. Oh yeah, no problem, Chase. You got any questions, you can always hit me up. But I mean, once you get that FMC turned on, that introduction document from Pmdg, it gives you a really good description of what each of, like, what everything does for the setups. Yep, but hey, anything you need, Chase, just hit me up. I'll see what I can do to help you out. But this plane is pretty steady. There's not usually many issues I've ever had with this airplane. It seems to be more reliable at times than the planes that come with the simulator. So I've had issues the last couple of days, but some of them were my fault. So I guess I don't know if they're my fault or not. I don't know if the bumps in the runway are my fault or the engine overspeeding. That's just weird. Whenever I click the left thumbstick in, it makes the engines overheat, and I don't know why. Like, I checked the controller settings, and there's no input that should allow that to happen. But yeah, enjoy it while you can, Frank. Savor it. Why don't you ask your cousin, see if y'all can switch houses for a little bit? Oh yeah, well, do your thing, man. I'll be back on tonight too. So I don't know if I'm gonna be flying an airplane tonight. I might be playing Doom 2016 or Forza, or I don't know. We'll see. I might just do some regular game tonight since it's Saturday night. But yeah, I'll be back on tonight. Yeah, I can't really go outside too far with 8x because the outside has a trouble rendering. Boy, that wasn't very good English, was it? The outside has issue rendering when I'm in 8x speed. All right, so we got 169 miles until top of descent. And then we may wind up creating our own waypoint today, which I think we're going to do. Because I don't like the way that this landing has us going, I'm not a big fan of it, so I may wind up creating a waypoint to give us a little extra space when we make our turn towards the runway. Which creating a waypoint in the system here is pretty simple. You have to follow a certain protocol to do it, but you know, it's not too hard to do.
26.18249er. Goodbye. Memphis Center A249er flight level 360.
One nice thing about this Pmdg airplane, when you are in this sped up mode like we're in now, when you get to a waypoint, the airplane slows down to be regular speed, and then when you're about a mile past that waypoint, it speeds up again. Or when you get to a turn, it starts slowing down. It's great. I wish that the regular system did that. All right, Grease. I'll see you in a bit. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. All right, I'm going to turn off the speed increase because we're getting close to our top of descent. So let's see what we're dealing with here. So it looks like 29.2, 24,000 is our first actual, like, all right, well, let's put in 29.2 first. I like to do this in steps. That way I can see it on the screen here. And let's come over here and click on, all right, so we do have 84 miles. Let me look at these two different landings that are available. So I don't mind the RNAV landing, as long as everything's clear in Dallas, which, well, no, Dallas isn't that clear right now. It's modified visual flight rules. It's in blue, so that's not great. To be honest, that's not what I want to see for an RNAV landing, but it kind of is what it is. All right, let's see here. Approach. All right, 18 right is what we're doing. Let me pin this RNAV GPS landing. Let's pin that. And let's see here, RNAV GPS. All right, LNAV only. Oh, we have okay, so LPV. It's 200 for a decision height. And when we are 5, so when we're about 17 miles out, we got to be at 4,000 feet. I mean, the RNAV lane doesn't look too bad. Is there a VOR station here? Let me see here. There's a VOR station at Dallas, then I can do an RNAV landing instead of an ILS landing. I think there's a station there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Dallas Fort Worth Station, 113.1. Let's plug that in here. All right, so we got that plugged in. Now let's also plug in the frequency for the ILS in case we do it. It's 111.9. Yeah, see, this has a whole different set of waypoints here. Oh, no, it doesn't. It still has Ickle as the main. That is very interesting. All right, top of descent is coming. Let's look at because we go right from Gabet to Ickle, and that doesn't leave us a whole lot of. All right, let's create a waypoint real quick before Ickle. So we're gonna click on Ickle, and then we're gonna type in. So Ickle is at 243. So we need to type in the opposite of that. So that would be heading of 63. So let's do Ickle 63 / 5. 5 for the mileage. Hang on, Chase. And let's click on Ickle. Maybe it won't let us do it today. Okay, let's click on Ickle again. Ickle 63 dash 5. It should do it. Well, let's see. We may do it as we get closer. I might be missing a step. I'll have to go back and look at my notes. Yeah, man. When I'm on the outside view here, I mean the throttle here, it stops at 100, but sometimes 100 puts me like all the way over here. But yeah, I mean it'll show full throttle. If you're going full throttle, it'll show it on the outside here. Absolutely. All right, so we still have a little bit of time before we descend. Yeah, we got 47 miles. So far, so good. All right, let me look at my notes here. Because there is a way of doing this. I gotcha. Yeah, they operate a little bit differently, but yeah, I mean when you go full throttle, sometimes on the outside it stops at the end of green. Sometimes it goes a little more forward, but yeah, it doesn't. I can't remember ever like going into the red though.
Numbering CI27 to the top. Excellent.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, there's a pretty good FAQ section in, I forget which one. I think the introduction. But yeah, I mean they're both really good like documents. I mean I've referenced them often, and I've been flying this plane for I guess about maybe 5 months now. Maybe I guess I've had it. Maybe I don't know. I think somewhere around 5 months. But I mean I still reference those. I mean I was just reading those documents last night, both of them. So yeah, I mean they're good documents to flip through for sure. All right, let's go into VNAV mode. As we're getting ready to start descending. And let's switch GigaChad to map. And we're going to push this center button in twice. That'll give us like a vertical situational. It's a VSD, it's vertical situational something. But that'll start showing us the descent path. All right, let's come back here again. Let's click on ICL. All right, here we go, ICL. And I don't think I did it correct last time. I think it's 063/5. There we go. There we go. Now we just created a waypoint. So now we have IC 01, which is 5 miles before ICL. Excellent. All right, we're getting ready to start our descent. Wow, it is really bad weather. I guess it's bad weather. I don't know. We don't have a live weather thing here on the 737, but we're gonna find out soon. I mean, these clouds are pretty fucking tall. Yeah, I really enjoyed learning this plane. I mean, I enjoy learning every plane, but I especially like learning the planes when there's decent documentation to go with it. And this plane is one of the best, you know, as far as documentation goes. I mean, the Malibu Mirage that I bought, that Piper plane I bought, that one has an excellent document that goes with it. It's, you know, a couple hundred pages long. That one's a really good one. I think that's it. I don't think there's any other airplanes I bought that really came with any kind of documentation, but this Pmdg one and that Malibu Meridian Piper plane I bought, man, that came with a really good set of documents too. Sometimes it is, yeah. The checklist, yeah, absolutely. Usually when I'm doing the checklist, I usually have it on that mode where it's like automatic. So if I click evaluation, the co-pilot starts reading off everything, and it takes you to that spot that you're supposed to interact with. But yeah, sometimes the checklist is more confusing, especially like with the like the Airbus, the A310. Like that checklist, man, is crazy compared to what you really have to do. I mean, that might be a checklist for real life, but I mean, a lot of that stuff you don't really need to check in a simulator because it's already taken care of. Same thing with the 737 here. Like almost everything that you need to click on is clicked on. It's already in its correct spot, except for like fuel and, you know, some switches here and there. But for the most part, I mean, it's all like Yeah, sometimes these checklists, they do more harm than good. I agree completely. All right, and on descent here, let's go to page 4 here. That way we can keep track of our vertical deviation. This I'm not a fan of here. I'm not a fan of the... All right, it's coming a little bit back in the fold. It's getting a little even now. It was way off for a second there. All right, so it looks like we're going to be at 29.2 in time. Let's type in 26.7. That's the next altitude. All right, looks like we're going to be okay with that one there too. But what is up with the sound? Jesus Christ. All right, let me look at the course for this landing here. All right, so it looks like it's 76. Yep, it's 176 on both. So let's type in 176. On both sides. I don't really want to be in cursor mode right now, but I don't have a choice. All right, go ahead. I turned cursor mode off. You can go back to regular. I don't know why cursor mode now puts these engines at maximum. I have no clue why hitting the why hitting L3. Yeah, I know drag is required now, buddy. I'm aware. I know. All right, let's go down to 24,000. Guess I'll have to jump back onto forums later and see if I can figure that one out too. Why all of a sudden now... See, I just did it again by accident. Why going into cursor mode activates the throttle to go up completely, and I don't have that programmed anywhere. It's programmed nowhere. All right, Frank. I'll check you out later, my dude. Have a good day. If I don't see you later, I'll see you next time. All right, we can put our park and brake back down. I mean, our park and brake, our speed brake. Let's plug in 21,000. Yeah, nowhere do I have it programmed for L3 to do anything with throttle. But for some reason, it interacts with it. It puts it on maximum. me double check my controller options again. I mean, maybe I missed something. All right, search by input. Let's go L. Yeah, drone. Okay, camera. Miscellaneous. I mean, I could maybe change the input, I guess. Well, I can always do that later. I'm not going to do that now. It's just strange that happens. I don't know. All right, let's change our required navigation performance to 0.3. 0.3. Let's come to our reference page here. Let's look at our, let me look at the METAR for Dallas-Fort Worth. So there's no wind gusts according to the weather, so that's good. So let's plug in our approach speed here. Let's go back to legs. And it looks like we're going to be just over 21,000 feet by them, so that's good. Speed-wise, we're doing, I guess, okay. Yo, Oxidian, that's what I'm talking about, son. Yeah, boy, a new sub. Thanks, my dude. I appreciate you. I'm getting revenge on this bitch today. This plane has fucked me over the last couple of times I've flown it. Some of it's been my fault. Some of it's been my fault that I didn't know was my fault until last night. But hey, look at that, man. There's a go around town. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. What part of Texas you live in? I'm in go around. I guess that's Texas. I don't know. That's Texas or Oklahoma. Probably Texas. Well, thanks, Oxidian. I appreciate it, man. It's a nice compliment. I appreciate it. All right, let's plug in 16,000 now. And we'll see on the map where we're at. So let's go down here. And it's saying that by the time we get to Sever, oh, that's between 13 and 16. All right, well, whatever. Let's type in 13,000 then. Yeah. Let's see where it's at. Do we need to add some speed brake in? Unable 290 at them. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. You're already at them, so there's no reason to fix you. We don't need to be at 290. It's okay. We're just going to stay at 250. It's probably a little slower than we should be, but that's okay. Actually, we can go up to 270, I guess. Let's go to 270. And 217. All right, that's fine. And then we added a new waypoint in, so that's going to be coming up here pretty soon. All right, so there's that arc. That's where the plane thinks we're going to be at for 13,000 feet. So, which is okay. We don't need to be at 13,000 by the time we get to this sever here. Yeah, I hear you, dude. Yeah, I can't play FS Global right now, man. Wait a minute. Why is FMC... Oh, that's because of that message down there. Hang on a second. Let me pause this real quick. Pause this. I'll get to your comment in a second. Let me just fix this message here. So whenever you get a message here that says unable 270 knots, we can just go in and we can type in 270, put a B in there for below, and then we'll just do FL 16,000, I guess, for this one. So FL 160, and then click on this right side here. Now that should get rid of that error message, and it also got rid of the error message that was up in this section too. Let's release the pause. And let's put our speed down to 250 now. Yeah, I can't play FS Global. For years I've been able to play on my iPad with no problem at all. And all of a sudden now, FS Global, I can't play on that iPad. So it's very frustrating because Aerofly has always run well on my iPad. It's always been like close to 50, 60 frames a second. And now all of a sudden I can't play it. So it's frustrating because I really enjoyed that simulator for a long time, but I can't really. So I can still do 2023, but it's not global, obviously. So, but that's cool, man. Doing a aerospace engineering degree, man. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, if you're an engineer, you pretty much always have access to getting a really good paying job, especially an aerospace engineer. Man, you're gonna be making buckets of cash when you get older. Buckets of cash. So I changed our descent. B path wasn't working too well for some reason. So I changed us to VS mode. I want to make sure we get to, down to the altitude we need to be at by the time we get down to this bridge here. And there's a deceleration icon here as well. And these little green circles are deceleration spots. All right, so let's plug in standard mode. So now let's go back into regular mode. And our barometric pressure is, according to Navigraph, is 2966. So let's go over here. Oh, can't see it. There we go. Still can't see it. There we go. 2966. And we're going to stop off at most of the time it's around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hang on, let me type it in here. 8 p.m. EST. There we go. Yeah, so most of the time during the week it's 8 p.m. East Coast time. On the weekend, it's a bit sporadic. Just depends on what I have going on. But usually, I'll put in like the community page of my page on YouTube. I'll usually put in the community section like what time, I should be going on the weekend. All right, let's plug in. What do we have here? 11,000 to 12,000. So let's plug in 11,000. All right, steep descent after severe. I don't know about that. All right, so we're actually doing okay. At the rate we're going right now, we should get to 11,000 feet right before this BRDJGE whatever Berg. So this arc is where the navigation system thinks we're gonna be at for the altitude we selected. So they're saying at this spot we should be at 11,000 feet, which is fine because we need to be. My batteries are low. Oh shit! I guess I need to put a new battery in. Hang on, let me change the battery. All right, batteries in. There we go. All right, let's. I can't go into regular cursor mode for some reason, so I gotta use this little reticle here instead of how I normally would operate, but it's okay. All right, yeah, we're doing okay. I'm not worried the fact that our vertical deviator is showing us so far, that we're so far below where we should be. This should come much closer to being in line by the time we get to our next waypoint. We are doing okay. Yeah, that's cool, man. Singapore is awesome, dude. I've done a few flights out there too. I love flying around Singapore and that part of like Indonesia and then Singapore. It's such a beautiful area to fly over. That's cool, man. I'm glad you got a chance to say hi. I'm glad glad to hopefully start your day off with a smile. But yeah, getting that aerospace engineering degree is awesome, man. That's hard work, man. Congratulations on being able to do that. That's awesome. I've known a few engineers over the course of my life, and man, they are some of the smartest people I've ever met. That's for sure, man. Tejas. That's how you pronounce it. Flying T Ranch. That's us, American Airlines, $24.99. All right, we gotta start slowing down here pretty soon. Yep, we're getting ready to level off. All right, we're getting ready to go to 240. And we have to get down to 8,000 feet, so let's plug in 8,000 here. Let's go VS mode.
Port center A2499er 11,000 feet.
All right, we'll go -12. Well, I don't think we're gonna make that 8,000 foot mark, but it's fine. Let's go down to 6,000 feet. Now I do need to plug in. All right, let's set our runway for our landing. Let's set up our heads-up display. So for this, we're going to need the height of the runway and the length of the runway. So first of all, let's set our mode to IMC, and standby mode is VMC. This is like instrument landing. V is like visual landing, but anyways, so mode IMC, runway, let's click that. Click it one more time. Okay, so EL, elevation is 606 feet, so we have 606. Enter. Click on runway. Now we have length, and our length is 13,400. Click enter, and now we have length and height set. So now when we put our heads-up display, when we bring the screen down, that should now put our reticle right in like the sweet spot of the touchdown zone. All right, and we are going to go down to 230 knots here pretty soon, indicated airspeed. We're still at 2966 according to Navigraph, so all right, we're doing pretty good. Let's actually change this to like 1100 so we can stop our speeding a little bit, because we're starting to speed up a little bit. Man, there's some nasty weather here in Dallas today, Jesus. Let's put our seatbelts back on. Let's bring this down to closer to where we're at. And I guess we can put on our landing lights. Our engines are looking okay. All right, very good. All right, so you can see here, this little dotted line deal here. Here's the waypoint that I created. It's not exactly where I wanted it. I wanted it like 5 miles this way, but it's okay. We still created it. Oh, that's right, because I did it on the wrong... Shit. Hang on, I think I can fix it. Let me see if I can fix this. All right, so I just paused. So I wanted it to be like 5 miles back here, but what happened was I plugged in the wrong course. I should have taken Johan, which is 177. What's up, Frank? How do you see the estimated time of arrival to the next waypoint? You really... hang on a second, hang on. Let's fix... hang on, let me fix this real quick. Let me fix this waypoint here. All right, let's do this and do that. All right, let's get rid of that one waypoint. And now what we're going to do is let's click on Ickle again. Let's create a waypoint. I'll answer your question, Oxidian, in a minute. Give me a second. All right, so Ickle, and we need to do the opposite of 177. So that's 200 plus that is 377. So we should be at 357. So let's see, 357 and 5 miles. Yes. Excellent. That's what I wanted right there. There we go. That's what I wanted. So now we just created a waypoint 5 miles before Ickle. So now we can come in and we have longer time to kind of set up our landing. Excellent. To go back and see the ETA to your next waypoint, I believe if you click on this progress button here, it has the ETA. So right here it says like 12:19 Zulu. You just have to look at this clock here and then it'll see. So like in a minute we'll get there. All right, let's release the hounds. Let's go back to being live. But yeah, the ETA will show up here for each of the waypoints. All right, let's plug in 4,000. And let's plug in 220 knots. Excellent. I haven't had to do a flight recently where I needed to actually create a waypoint like that. That's pretty cool.
118.18249er. Regional approach A249er 5,800 feet.
All right, let's put on, let's see here. Let's set our speed brakes. We'll put them on 3. Let's put a first set of slats down. No, 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 not that. Oh, jeez. It's so hard for me not to push the cursor in. Like, I'm so used to pushing that in to operate everything. All right, let's go slats 1 and flaps 1. And once we start lining up, we'll click I go into the FMC, it shows the offset distance, and I can't do anything else. I'm not sure what part of the FMC you're looking at, Chase. I mean, are you trying to like start something from like, are you trying to start like cold and dark like you were trying to do earlier? Because the FMC should have a lot more info than just offset distance. Hello. All right, let's click approach. Oh yeah, not a work day for me. All right, so since we're in RNAV landing, we have FAC for final approach course. That's kind of like our localizer setting. And then we have GP for glide path. So once we line up here, both of those should activate. Let's turn our speed down a little bit. Nah, I can't. I don't have a pilot's license, my friend. I wish I did, but I'm thinking about getting one, but I don't have the money for it right now, to be honest. So right now, I just play online and have fun playing online. I would love to get one though at some point. I've just been flying simulators for a very long time. I've been flying planes on these simulators for probably 20, maybe 15 years now, I think. Hey, come here. You can have some of this. I have more in the car. I'll get them when I'm done. Here, you can have that. I'll grab you another one when I go outside. Mm-hmm. What?
I found something out about, you know, like that ice tray that we have?
What, the ice cream sandwiches?
No, the ice tray.
Oh yeah, what about the ice tray?
What thing? On some, what? You can like balance it on. I was just.
Alright.
Don't worry about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's super sweet.
I know, it's like super cool.
It's super cool, man. I like the ice tray and how it's like, it's super. I live in Maryland, Obsidian, so Maryland, USA. Yeah. I'm trying to follow a link. It shows click the FMC prompt and it doesn't do anything. Lateral offset, then offset distance. Hang on, I'm not following you, Chase. My daughter says hi to everybody. I don't know how many people are in. It doesn't show me that. On this app I'm using, it just shows who's chatting. Hang on. What document and page are you looking at? Chase. Keith says hi, and Frank the King says, what's up?
Cool.
Frank is the king of aviation, and I think roads also, I think is what he told me at one point. So I feel kind of blessed that I'm in the presence of such royalty whenever he's you know, hanging out. But all right, so we can see this icons coming down for glide path. So when you have a VOR station at the airport you're landing at, you can program that in, click approach when you're lined up, and it'll do almost the exact same thing as an ILS. Sweet, I love the CJs, man. I wish they had a CJ on Microsoft Simulator. All right, so we're about 12 miles away, so let's start slowing down. All right, Chase, I'll check it out in a second. Hang on. Well, thanks, Frank, for dubbing me the Sir King of Aviation. I appreciate that. All right, we may hear some buzzing here coming up, but we'll fix it. That's usually from the system telling me to put the gear down. Yeah. What hot sauce? Which one? The Old Bay one?
Yeah.
Oh, you were still using that? Oh, it's in the trash can. Go ahead, grab it. It was so old. So I threw it out because I didn't think anybody was using it. Oh, I'm sorry. We have Tabasco sauce. You can grab it out of the trash can. It'll be all right. There's so much vinegar in that.
That's fine. Yeah, I just put it on.
I had no idea you were using it. Sorry. Chase, I'll give me a minute, Chase. I'll check out the page that you're on and see what I can help you figure out. Let me all right, let's put our flaps down some more. We got the gear down, we got landing lights on. We have 137 is our B speed. 2966 is our barometer.
Dad,
What?
you think you probably set up like a cash shop or something so I can start selling commissions for art and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we got about 7 miles to our landing. Yeah, after I land Chase, I'll get on and I'll open up that document and see what I can find out for you. I'm not going to do all the taxing and shit. This revenge flight was more to put Microsoft in their place. Bunch of bitches, always trying to sabotage me. I think I'm the only person that flies airplanes that has issues that is not my fault. Like, it's not my fault that pushing L3 overheats the engines when that button has nothing to do with the engines. And it's not my fault that the runways are as bumpy as they are because of, you know, it doesn't render the way it's supposed to. Like, that's not my fault. They do. Microsoft don't like me because I'm a cis white male. They don't like me. They think I'm toxic. All right, so this glide path should take us all the way down to about 100 feet, I think. Let's bring this up in the air because we're gonna have to turn off the autopilot. We have to use this little button here on the side of the yoke. You have to push that in a couple of times. Otherwise, it's gonna continue to go, which is really annoying. All right, let's go ahead and
400. 300.
Dad, when's your birthday again? It's like the 7th.
200.
what?
What day is your birthday?
The 19th.
I thought it was the 17th. No. I was
100.
close. Ish.
I'd rather not the world know what that is, but yeah,
20.
Well, I didn't say the month.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, you could have muted.
I can't really.
Oh.
It's okay. I mean, I can mute it, but it takes I have to go like to a website to do it. All right, we are on the ground. So I got revenge, bitch. Fuck Microsoft. Fuck them bitches. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see here. Let me go back to your message, Chase. So you said that you were on page tutorial page 19. Hang on, let me see what it says there. Tutorial page 19. I'm looking at the tutorial right now. It's pulling up. Oh, here, I guess I can share the screen too. Give me a second. Let me, all right, display capture. Let's turn display capture on. Transition that. All right, so now you should be looking at same document. Let's go to page 19.
Yeah.
Are you done? All right, see you. Love you too. Yeah, position initialization, right. All right, so let me see what you were asking me. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of the... RIP, Ryan. Yeah, Chase, I'm not sure what you're I'm not sure what you're getting at, to be honest with you. Like when you go to position initial, well, here, I'll tell you what, let me get out of this and I'll get into a new flight and I'll start from scratch. No, I don't. No, I just use a controller and my mouse, and that's it. I want a yoke and throttle, but I don't have the money for it. All right, let's go back and set this up. Set the. I don't know what you're asking, Frank. What was what, my man? But yes, Keith, I got revenge. I shit all over them Microsoft bitches. They throw all kinds of bumps and potholes in the runway, and that's cool, man. Yeah, I definitely would like to get one of them. I think flying would be a lot easier if I had a yoke and a throttle. Oh, I don't know what my landing rate was. Did you say it was minus 90? I guess that's good. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff going on when I was landing, man. I had my daughter talking to me for some reason. Like, she don't talk to me all day, and all of a sudden now I'm getting ready to land a plane. She's talking to me, which is, you know, I don't mind her talking, but you know. All right. So Chase, I'm not sure what you're having a problem with, but if you know, once you turn this on, I can't go into FMC. Let me turn the airplane on. Hang on a second. If you're having a issue with, like, I don't see what you're talking about with offset. We might have to do this a different way, because let me go back and... Oh, I see what you were saying now, Frank. Yeah, minus 90, not too bad. My landing rate minus 90. It could have been better, I think, but I'll take it. Let's see what it says here. Position initialization. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see what... Yeah, 90's not bad, I think. I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, when you first... Yeah, Oxidian, man, I'm glad we got a chance to hook up, man. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, I guess Chase it. Okay, I'm sitting in the menu. It shows FMC Pmdg. Right. Yeah, that's the starting page. Like this page right here, Chase. Right. FMC, if you once the plane is turned on, you can click on FMC and it'll bring you to this page here. But this page here is not going to do anything until you have to align the IRS system. So what you need to do is, and this should be in the tutorial as well. Come up here. I always put this switch on heading STS. Did you turn the plane on, Chase? Like the battery and ground power? The airplane's got to turn on. I mean, even if you don't have ground power, the battery still has to turn on. Like if I start over again, here, let me restart. Even if you don't have ground power connected, the battery will still turn on. Yeah, okay. So here's what, okay, so do this, Chase. So leave everything off. Go to this menu button. You can use either FMC. I just always use this one for setup. For some reason I do. You know, hold the menu button. So this screen comes up and do Pmdg setup. And then go right here to startup state. And choose, okay. I'll wait for you to turn on the page here. When you get to this first menu page. But yeah, this should work. Now, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Maybe Chase is trying to troll me. Maybe Chase is one of them guys. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it should work. I mean, regardless of what 737 model you're flying, it should work. But yeah, you get to this menu page here, go to Pmdg setup, and then startup state. You got to click on that, and then use next page, and then do this cold and dark GPU. You choose that. Click execute. And then you can save that if you want. I usually save it as whatever delivery is that I'm flying. I already have AAL set up. REQ in the middle. I don't know. Don't you see Pmdg setup? Right. And if, I guess since I already had this chosen, just click on startup state. And then choose that cold and dark GPU. Okay. So if you have cold and dark GPU saved, that should be how your plane starts up from now on. So, you know, now that it's saved, restart. And then when you go back into the airplane, you should be able to turn on ground power. Like you should have the unit sitting out here. If you don't, let me show you what to do. So if that unit is not sitting out there, here's what you can do. You can go back to the starting menu, go to FS Actions, go to Ground Services, and then you can request the ground power unit right here. Is there a ground power unit outside of the airplane? And if it's not there, go into this ground services menu here and request it. All right, so here. Okay, so I disconnected mine, okay? So now that should be right, so now my light is off too now, okay? So if this doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you, my dude. So you go to FS Actions, go to Ground Services, make sure the ground power unit type is on, GPU cart, and then come down here and request it. Right, so now that it's connected, that light should be on. Release just means that's the next option you have. Mine says release now too. That just lets you know that's the next option you have. So now I go up top here and now ground power is available. See, it's in blue now. So if you're telling me that yours says release down here, then it has to be blue up here, which means you have ground power now. So that should be working now for you. If that's not working, I don't know what to tell you, my dude. You may have to email the developers or get on a forum or something, because like if you are missing a step, that's one thing, but like if you and I are looking at the same thing, oh, you got it. Excellent. Very good. Yeah, and after it's connected and it's turned on, it'll say, like down here, it says active. So now you should be good now. Now you should be able to operate everything. The screens take a few minutes to come on, but now you should be able to operate everything. So very good. Well, I'm going to end it here. Oh, good. You're seeing a lot now. Excellent. Yeah, you should be able to finish going through the tutorial pages, now that everything is on. So that's excellent. I'm glad everything's working for you now. It's frustrating when you're trying to do these different steps and you think you're doing it, and it's just something just isn't clicking. Especially when it's new, man, it gets frustrating. But I'm glad it's all working for you now. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you need me to stay on for a few more minutes, or are you okay? Because if you're okay, then I'm gonna dip out and take care of what I got to take care of for today, and I'll be back on tonight for sure. But if you need if you need a little bit more help, I'll stay on for you. Fuck, man, where's my return? Damn, man, I'm tired of waiting for my money from the government. Fuck, give me my money, man. Damn. This bitch is playing around with my money. All right, well, if you need something, just write a comment on one of my videos. Doesn't matter which video, any video, and it'll send a notice to my phone and to my tablet. So, but yeah, man, I hope those documents from Pmdg help. They, like I said, they're the ones that really I kind of reference a lot. So I mean, they've really helped me out. So hopefully they'll help you too. So, all right, my friends, I will be back about 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. It might be flying, it might be Doom, it might be Forza, it might be power washing. I don't know. I'm going to do something tonight. More than likely, it's going to be something in simulator here, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, all right, I will see y'all later. Thanks for everybody who tuned in today. This was a very fun experience. I'm glad we got revenge, and it was so sweet. The revenge was so sweet. Yes, sir. And that's about it, my friends. You take care of yourself, and I will check y'all out later. See ya.